In this guide, I'm going to show you how you can add an awesome 8 photo image grid to your Shopify store in seconds. All it's going to take is a couple of copy and paste, create a new file or two, and you're going to be off and running. I'm going to walk through it a little bit so you can kind of understand how it works, but this is mobile responsive, adds some customizable options through the schema, and I think you're going to love it. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Let's get into it. Okay, now that I'm in my Shopify admin, what I'm going to do is go ahead and duplicate my test theme, which is what I would highly recommend that you do. And then you just simply have to click this 3-dot menu, and we are going to go into Edit Code. Okay, now once we can see our code, what we're going to do is we're going to create a couple files. The first one is going to be here in the Sections directory. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to right-click and add a new file. And I'm just going to call this photo-grid.liquid. And it's going to open this new file for us. And what we can do is we can then copy all of the code that's in the GitHub link in my description of this video, and you can paste it in. So now that I've pasted all this code in, I'll just talk about it very briefly. Here at the very beginning, you'll see that we have this section photo grid CSS file that we need to create, and that's going to have all of our styles. If you only use this file right now, it's going to look very ugly because there's no styling being applied. Then if we continue down a little bit, you can see that we have some section-specific styling that needs to happen in here so that we have access to the section ID. But then we just have like our basic liquid and HTML kind of syntax, things like our settings that we define, our color scheme, our heading text, those sort of things. And then importantly, I'm just going to point out right here, this for loop, which goes through our section blocks that are going to be defined in the schema. So all the blocks are going to be the images that we actually display. Those are looped through here and defined. And then here at the bottom as well, we have the button logic, making sure that if we have a button label, we're going to actually show that here as well. And now if we look at the schema, you'll see some pretty basic stuff. So if you're not familiar with Shopify schema, which is really what powers most of this, take a look in the description for a video that I made on Shopify schemas and how they work. It could be very helpful. But you'll see that we have this name here, tag, class, just some basic settings here. I'm not going to go through all of them because there are quite a few, but you can see like some of the different types that we have, right? So inline rich text, a select option, a range. So, this, again, more schema stuff that you can do lots of different options with. And then I'm going to scroll down until I get to this blocks here, and you'll see that we have these blocks. I've limited it to 8. We need 8 to make this grid look correct. And so what's going to happen is we're going to add 8 of these blocks, which are going to be the images that are actually displayed here. And then, of course, the presets here so that we have the correct name and we can find it easily. So I'm going to go ahead and save this file. And then I'm going to grab this name right here. I'm going to copy it so that I don't get it wrong. And then what I'm going to do is go up to the assets directory. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to right click. I'm going to create this new file. I'm going to paste that name in. So it should be section-photo-grid.css. And then I'm going to copy the code from the CSS file from my GitHub. I'm going to paste that in there. And I'm not going to talk about it too much, but you can see we have a few things like media queries. These are the different styles. So if you ever want to go in and edit any of these types of things, you can. So there's some good documentation here. Now this is what's going to make it actually appear nice looking in the UI. And so now what we can do is we can go here, and then we're going to click Preview Store. But first we need to actually add it into the theme. So we'll click on the Customize theme, and then I'm just going to do it right here on the home page. I'm going to add a section, and I'm going to look for my photo grid right here at the top. And now I'm just going to go through and add my blocks. So you'll see that the 8 are added by default. So what I'm going to do is go through, and I'm just going to kind of fast forward through this part of me adding the images. Okay, so I've gone through and I've just rearranged the images slightly to make sure that they are where I want them. So you're going to want to make sure you do, the portrait images in the tall slots, and of course the horizontal images in these landscape slots. I'm also going to go through and show you a few of these customizable settings that we have. So we can change the size of this heading right here pretty easily. We just have to click on this, and you can see that it updates accordingly. So I'm going to leave it as small. I'm also going to go ahead and edit this grid gap because I actually think it looks better with a smaller gap. You can also go way bigger, but I wouldn't, it just looks different. So I like the small gap. I'm going to leave it smaller like this. Obviously, we can customize the text here. And then we have like our button information as well. And of course, the link of wherever we want it to go. And also, I didn't point this out specifically, but in the blocks, there's a link so that we can make sure that these images, when clicked, they navigate to the page that we want it to go to, right? So we can pretend like that's what I want. And I'm going to go ahead and save this. And now if I come to my theme preview, I'm going to refresh. And we can see this new photo grid, and it looks pretty cool. Like you can see the slight hover effect, which looks really sharp. I think it looks really good, and I'm going to make sure that the link works. So if I click, you'll see that it does take me to the product page that I set up for it. And then if we take a look at it on mobile, you can see that it still looks really good. The images format nicely, so it is mobile responsive. So I hope that this has been helpful with you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you'd like to see anything built in Shopify, make sure you drop a comment and let me know. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.